Hi, Joe Piccirilli with RoseWater Energy with another episode of RoseWater Unscripted. Today, I'd like to talk a little bit about load shedding. Load shedding seems to be a hot topic these days. There seems to be a tremendous amount of confusion around why you load shed and actually what load shedding actually is. So let's start with that. Load shedding occurs when you have a power outage and your battery system is engaged. What load shedding will do is automatically turn off some of the breakers in your panel. Now, why would it do that? Well, there are a couple of reasons. One, as we talked about before, the inverter, which could be equated to the horsepower of a motor, can only power so much. So what happens with load shedding is it will turn off loads so that your 100 horsepower motor, which is the inverter, can pull the load. In many cases, if all of those loads were engaged, in other words, all on, there wouldn't be enough horsepower to pull the load. So load shedding is used to make sure that the amount of weight essentially matches the amount of horsepower. The other reason people use load shedding is to increase runtime. So doing that, if you diminish the amount of weight on the batteries, they will last longer. So that's really how load shedding works. It's just automatically turning off breakers and the reasons for it. Now, people ask us all the time, why don't you have load shedding on a RoseWater? Well, as we have discussed in previous episodes, a RoseWater product is engaged 24/7 and it is protecting the critical infrastructure of your residence. Why would you ever want to shed critical infrastructure? You always want it protected. So in our case, the loads that are on a RoseWater should never be shed because they're far too important to your lifestyle and security. So that is simply why we don't include load shedding as part of our RoseWater feature set. I hope that helps clarify what load shedding is about and why we don't have it. Joe Piccirilli saying thank you for listening to another episode. Speak to you again soon.